for entertainment purposes only. And if you want true legal advice, contact your own lawyer.
Hey, folks, space is the final frontier. These are the voyages of the Star Trek Radio Law Talk. Its multi-year mission to seek out new life and go where no person has boldly gone before. But what happens when crimes occur in space within maybe our own solar system or an orbit of the Earth? Denise, what happened?
Denise, are you there? Yes, you are. Okay,
I'm here.
Yeah.
We've got Anne McClain, who is a NASA astronaut, and her former spouse. Well, actually, not a former spouse. It's her current spouse. Summer Warden. She just filed for divorce, and they've separated and they filed for divorce. And this is a very interesting case. This happens absolutely all the time. I see it all the time, where one spouse will get information and access to the other spouse's financial information. First of all, is it improper or a crime? Probably not. To be candid, if it was a joint account, definitely not, because both spouse would have rights to see the information in the joint account. The astronaut was up in the space station. She admits that she accessed the bank account of her estranged spouse.
Either estranged or ex, or were the ex?
Not ex.
Or
Nope,
still estranged?
that's why
Still
there's.
estranged.
Yep,
Okay,
they
got it.
just filed for divorce, but there's been no judgment of dissolution of this marriage. And so we're looking at whether or not it's a crime to access an estranged spouse financial records. And I say first, what's really going to matter is the characterization of the account. Is it a joint account, or is it a separate account? Is it an account that was opened after the divorce and was initiated? Those are the kind of things we don't really know yet. But the allegations from Summer Warden is that Anne McClain accessed her account improperly, was spying on her, and has been using different types of mechanisms and manipulations to try to get custody of her son. And it's Warden's son. It's not McClain's son.
Which, by the way, she got without the other partner's knowledge, is my understanding. Because the other partner wasn't even aware this was happening until the son kind of showed up. If I read the story correctly, I could be wrong about that.
And that part is unclear too. If it's of the marriage, this should be a child, but of the marriage, right? But if the child was born before the marriage, then we're looking at is just a stepchild. Although there may still be a parental relationship, it doesn't mean that they're going to automatically get custody.
Right, and it's still a can of worms, so they're fighting over it. Right.
That's correct. Right. And there's been nasty allegations. McClain initially brought a complaint against Warden, saying that there was a assault happened, and so that then was, dismissed from the court. And now we're into this place where now Warden's saying she's stolen my identity to access my account. And the funny part about it is the response by McClain is, oh no, I didn't steal the identity. We have throughout our entire relationship had access to this account through passwords that are known to both of us. So this is going to come down to whether the characterization of the account.
And besides, I was just checking in to make sure you had enough money to pay your bills.
And make sure that you're properly taking care of our son.
Right.
Is kind of the allegation, right?
And the bills, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So then Warden now has gone so far as to file a Federal Trade Commission complaint saying that McClain had committed identity theft. So this is now going to be an issue about whether or not that theft happened. Is it a crime? What jurisdiction
is the
controls?
Space Station, the International Space Station, U.S. jurisdiction?
That's the $64,000 question here.
Wow.
Is if this is a criminal allegation, if this goes to the extent of being a criminal allegation and she faces criminal liability, what's the jurisdiction here? And
exactly.
that raises, because it's the International Space Station.
It is. But it's not just U.S. There's been, Russian involvement?
Japanese,
I know.
Indian, from the country of India. I think even some Chinese scientists have been involved.
Now, I will tell you, I think I have an answer, but before we get to that, here's some of the questions that come up here. The question is, The question is, at what point, where is the space station? I mean, is it based upon its orbit? The space station doesn't follow a fixed orbit. It doesn't follow a geosynchronous orbit. The orbit changes all the time. We do know that it's at various points over various locations on the Earth. Airspace goes straight up from the land marker. Who knows?
What country were they over when this took place?
Exactly. And let me tell you why that is and is not an issue. Let's say a crime took place on the space station itself. We'll just say murder. Somebody kills somebody else on the space station. That would be a bigger issue because the crime is confined within that station. So maybe it would be an issue about where things are. But when it comes to identity theft, jurisdiction is established wherever the victim resides.
Oh, really?
Yes. So, and that makes sense. If your identity is stolen, somebody gets your credit card number and you don't know where they're at. Maybe they're
another
in Europe,
country.
another country, wherever. You can still have that prosecuted in the county that you live in because that's where you are at.
And that's where the damage occurs.
Exactly. So in this case here, jurisdiction isn't that much of an issue because it can be established wherever the person, the estranged spouse, was on Earth. That is the jurisdiction of where it is prosecuted, and because it's a federal offense, the FTC probably has jurisdiction, so it's not going to be that much of an issue.
And I was thinking, international law is going to now start to deal with space and jurisdiction and crimes in space and all of that, just like they had to do with maritime law.
True.
And I feel like it's probably going to be developed similar to maritime law.
I just don't want to have to pass the bar exam in space. That's all I'm saying.
Well, if you do, you'd be truly an international attorney.
He'd be an alien.
Hey, Todd Cunin, an attorney who is out of this world.
Go to the website, radiolawtalk.com. That's radiolawtalk.com.